ChatGPT, for many, is a life-altering technology that we haven't seen the likes of for many years. And it only came out 6 or 7 months ago. And so we're only just starting to scratch the surface of the amazing power it beholds. Today, we're going to talk about the 3 key differences between ChatGPT and Azure OpenAI. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you for all the support for this channel. Please remember to like and share and put up comments and reviews. All that stuff really helps to help me build the channel and put more content out there for you. So now let's talk about those 3 key differences between ChatGPT and Azure OpenAI. First, we're going to start with the ownership because there are some misconceptions here. Microsoft does not own ChatGPT. OpenAI owns ChatGPT, and more specifically, OpenAI LP, which is a profitable arm of the broader OpenAI nonprofit corporation that has its main intentions to research and develop technology using AI and creating the ability for us to use AI for good in the world. Now, Microsoft invested heavily in OpenAI back in 2022, and they even deployed some of their services to the Azure cloud. We'll get to that in a second, though. What is confusing to people is that Microsoft does not own OpenAI, but in fact, now that you're seeing all of the integration with OpenAI through various copilots and other tools that are just coming to light, what we're seeing is the manifestation of 2 technology companies coming together and Microsoft being the lead investor, where we've helped them build computing and using tens of thousands of GPUs to be able to provide the compute needed for their research. And the biggest hit so far, obviously, is ChatGPT and the large language model using GPT-3 that came out back in November of 2022. Microsoft has exclusive rights to these models to be able to use them with all of their products in their suite. So that should hopefully clear up the ownership conversation.
I just wanted to take a quick minute to let you know that some colleagues and I recently finished this book, A Practical Guide to Azure Cognitive Services. We go through how to implement, justify, and really make the best use of AI given these pre-canned models that can be enabled with a simple API. Order it now.
The next thing we want to talk about is security, because we're seeing all kinds of companies wind up in the news for using ChatGPT the wrong way, putting proprietary information into it and not telling people how to use the technology within those companies. So for instance, we saw that Samsung had a major leak of their development code because they put it into ChatGPT to try to leverage the power of that large language model. The publicly facing ChatGPT uses GPT-3 and currently is only trained through data and information scraped from the web through 2021. The questions and the interactions that people have within that command prompt, within that chat prompt, are captured, and they can be used for further training of the models. Now, when you deploy Azure OpenAI APIs and the models, you're deploying them to a specific tenant that your company or you as a person control and own. Those models are unique to you, and you can add data to them in order to more refine the way that the models are used. However, you have to keep in mind that that data stays isolated to your tenant, and you're never going to see them completely use that data to better refine the existing models or work on the next iterations of the GPT model. Currently, Microsoft offers the GPT-4 and the GPT 3.5 models as well as using the Codex for helping with software development and the DALL-E for image production within the Azure tenant in the Azure cloud. What it allows you to do is deploy the services, use the APIs with your applications, develop your own Copilot, however you feel best, right? Or perhaps you want to have a chatbot for internal services that you want to train it on. You can leverage those APIs with your existing chatbot or a new one, and then you can have all that information that's available to you from your company proprietary data. And you never have to worry about that data getting out because the data is never captured from the prompt and the model is not trained on that data. So that's misconception number 2. Finally, misconception number 3 is around costs. So as of right now, the ChatGPT API and interface is available and free to the public during the preview. You can also pay, I believe it's $42 a month currently, for a unique experience where you have more of the hardware available to you. And so you can more quickly get the answers that you need. You can use the chat window, whatever works best for you. The Azure OpenAI services are in fact using the Azure cloud, and it's using the compute that's available through the Azure cloud, including the GPUs that are required to process these massive amounts of data. These services are paid basically or consumed based on the compute that is required to train the models and to serve up any of the interactions you have with the API. So you're paying more on a consumption basis as opposed to a flat fee like you would with ChatGPT. And depending on how much you use it, how frequently you train your models, how many people are using it within your Azure tenant, those prices and those costs can go fairly dramatically higher than what you would see with ChatGPT because you have so much more control over what it is you're doing with it. This topic and this content is fascinating for me. This is just the beginning of some of the things that we'll talk about as we move forward and we start to see more and more capabilities around large language models and using these algorithms. But hopefully that helped to clear up a few of the misconceptions that are out there today. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, let your friends know, and help me out to build this channel. Thanks again and have a great one.